In education, it's not only knowledge and test scores that matters, but also the values and attitudes that students develop. That's why today, I'll be discussing constructing non-cognitive skills assessment, and I'll explain this by first defining what it is, then why it matters, and finally, how it can be applied. So when we say non-cognitive skills, these are not about academics or knowledge alone. They are more about attitudes, values, and social emotional abilities that influence how students learn and how interact with others. Some examples are motivation, empathy, self-concept, and communication skills. These skills are not usually measured in paper and pencil tests, but they strongly affect how students perform and succeed in real life. To make it clearer, let's compare them with cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are about knowledge and thinking, like solving a math problem or analyzing a story. Non-cognitive skills, on the other hand, are more about behavior and dispositions. Both are important, but non-cognitive skills guide how learning actually happens, especially in relationships and in building values. Now that we know what non-cognitive skills are, it is important to understand why they really matter in values education. Non-cognitive skills go beyond academics. They support holistic growth, helping students develop not only in mind but also in character. They also improve the classroom climate since learning to respect and listen creates a more positive and peaceful environment. And beyond the school setting, they prepare learners for real life, where cooperation and empathy and also respect are essential in dealing with people who are different from them. Because of this, the next question is, how can we actually assess these skills in the classroom? To answer that, let me connect it to the lesson topic, which is about pakikipag-ugnayan sa kapwa sa kabila ng pagkakaiba-iba sa paniniwala o relihiyon. This lesson focuses on showing respect when engaging with others despite differences in beliefs or religion. The competencies include identifying proper ways of interaction, practicing peaceful relationships, and applying respectful communication. Since this lesson is about values and attitudes, it cannot be measured through a traditional paper and pencil test. That is why we need other forms of assessment that can capture how students actually demonstrate these values in action. This leads us now to the how part of my presentation. So to assess values like respect and empathy, I cannot depend on just one tool. Non-cognitive skills are complex, so I need to use different methods to capture them better. For my lesson, I will use three main methods. First is observation checklist, second, self-report, and last is reflective journals or self-assessment. Each of these has its own purpose, and together, they give me a clearer idea of how students are practicing respect and inclusivity. The first method is observation. During a role play or discussion, I will observe the students and use a checklist to record their behaviors. Like, for example, I can check if they use respectful language, listen before reacting, or invite others to join the conversation. Observation gives me real-time evidence of how students demonstrate values and action, instead of relying only on assumptions. The second method is anonymous self-report. So after the activity, students will answer a short survey or rating scale about how comfortable they are in engaging with classmates who have different beliefs. Making it anonymous is important so that students can be honest without worrying about being judged. So for example, one item can say, I can speak respectfully with someone of another faith, and another can be, I avoid conversations when beliefs are different, which will be reverse scored. This way, I can capture how students see themselves when it comes to respect and openness. The third method is student self-assessment. So after the lesson, I will ask students to reflect on their own actions using an exit ticket or a short journal. Some prompts can be, did I listen respectfully during the activity? Or, how did I show inclusivity in my words or actions? This method helps the student become more self-aware and responsible for their own growth. Reflection is powerful because it makes students look back not only at what they said, but also at how they treated others. In using these assessments, it is important to keep some reminders in mind. The results should not be treated as grades, but as feedback to help students improve. Also, clear descriptors and repeated observations are needed to lessen bias and make the process fair. For self-reports, keeping them anonymous is necessary so students can answer honestly. So, to conclude, non-cognitive skills are vital in values education because they build respect, empathy, and inclusivity. My role as a teacher is not to judge, but to guide students as they grow in values that they can carry beyond school. In assessment, the main goal should always be to guide growth, not to punish.